So I see this cracky come in, and I'm watching her from upstairs, and I see she took a balaclava. If you don't know what a balaclava is, it's like a full face knit. It's a full face cover thing with just usually an opening for the eyes and sometimes the mouth or nose. Ninja mask? Yeah, okay. And she's looking at one, whatever. She walks over, buys some jackets. The full face toque? Yes, exactly. Not a beanie. It's not a frickin' beanie. So she walks over to the jackets, and I see she puts down her purse, and she's like trying on these jackets, taking off her grubby full face beanie. I can see the balaclava's gone. So it's gone. So I walk by where she is, and I can see it's in her purse. So I'm like, all right. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt here, and I won't like immediately call her on it. I'll wait till she starts walking around. So she takes the jacket off, hangs it up, puts hers back on, picks up her purse, grabs a jacket, it's like carrying it over her purse, whatever, not doing anything. So I was like, okay, she's gonna steal this. So I just went up to her and I was like, hey, can you take that out of your purse? And she's like, what? What are you talking about? And I was like, the balaclava, you put it in your purse. And when she said, what? Or what are you talking about, you know? I knew she was gonna steal it. Because a normal person would be like, oh, what? Oh, sorry, it accidentally. So if she would have been like, oh, sorry, yeah, it fell in there or whatever. So she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the balaclava. She's like, oh, I'm buying that. It just slipped when I was looking in the jackets, whatever. And it was like jammed into her purse. So I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And I was like, no. She said something else and I was like, no. And she's looking at me and she's like, is no the only thing you say? And I was like, no. So she got pretty fucking pissed off at me. And I was like, yeah. So then she said, I have a store credit here. And I was just like, no. She's like, yeah, I do. I was like, okay. You can't use it. And she's like, what am I going to do with it? I was like, give it to somebody. She's having a full crime spree? Exactly. I'm like, give it to somebody. She's like, I'm not giving it to anybody. I'm like, well, you can't use it. So she had 2 jackets, so I was like, hang the jackets up and you can leave. It just slipped and went in there. Story of my life, dude. Story of my life. So then she said, this is why everyone that comes out of this store says you're a bunch of f***ing degenerates. And I was like, we're degenerates? That's weird. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, why don't you go and suck your mama's titties? So then I started laughing because it was so stupid. She used that line with the cops the night before, basically. Man, you're a real f***ing loser. Exactly. They always call me a loser. So I like laughed at her because it was so ridiculous. And she's like, and she's like, you're f***ing a real piece of shit or whatever. I'm like, you're a real classy lady, aren't you? So she's leaving and she's beaking off. And I told the cashier, I'm like, did she ask for the manager? No. They never do. They never do. They never ask. Because I would love to be like, you're talking to him. So she's leaving and I told the cashier, I'm like, hey, she's not allowed in here. She's like, I'm going to be back with a cop. And I was like, I followed her on the street. I'm like, a cop? What is a cop going to do? She's like, you're profiling me. And I'm like, yeah, I profiled you as a thief because I caught you stealing. You witnessed her steal versus profiling. You assume she's going to steal because she looked like a crack addict? Yeah, they don't understand that. Like, also when I can kick them out for any reason. They're like, you can't do that. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Technically, she never stole because she didn't leave the store. They try to say that to me, too. Like, you can't do anything. I didn't leave the store. It's like, no, that's not a law or a rule.